Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is still holding above that CME gap that we talked about, which is here located between 77,250 to around about 81,500. We talked about it before. It does still act as support and could act as a jump-off point for a rally to 90,900 plus next, which is the resistance area. Another low is still something that we have to consider here, but overall I'm watching for a bounce to that resistance area next, which is a decision, the next decision area, the next pivot, you could say. However, this will have to be adjusted slightly should the price in the short term form another low. Some people get confused about, okay, do we get another low or not? Really, from a daily chart point of view, it is just noise if we get another low. The main support area in which we currently are ranges down to 69K. Okay, so we have to give the price the space in this scenario, which is a wave 4 correction, to breathe. You know, it needs that space. We're still printing lower lows, lower highs, don't forget, but there is a chance that this here was the low on the 11th of March. Any low could really now be the last one, and I am soon watching, or I'm expecting a bounce to 90.9K plus soon, but that could mean that we get another low. Some of you guys get confused about that because some of you might mix up time frames and get confused about the different time frames. Yesterday, I made a post on X here, and said that soon we should get a post to 90.9K plus, right? This was it was this one here, right? Holding above the CME gap, but selling pressure is creeping in. We had yesterday some selling pressure. I'm watching for a bounce towards 90.9K soon, yeah? And then the question was, okay, but you said that, well, we might get another low before that. Yeah, and then people get confused, but that was a post on the daily time frame. Really, from a daily chart, zoomed out, it doesn't really matter if we see another low in the very short term, right? Bigger picture here, okay? By the way, follow us here for additional updates and insights if you don't want to miss out. But yeah, I mean, all I can say is we're still in a local downtrend here, but we're now in a support area, and this is the area from where I'd like to see a bounce. As I mentioned in many videos, another low is still likely, especially as long as we don't break above this trend line, as long as we don't break above the resistance area that we're watching on the smaller time frame. And then I'm watching this trend line here, the next trend line, and then we could get into this area. And then this will be the next pivot between 90.9K and 103.8K. What does that mean? It's just a decision point, right? Just a decision area. We don't know yet if the white count will really take over or if it's the red count, because at the moment they're moving together. So we expect a rally, and then if the next pullback is corrective, it could be a setup for one more high, one more rally. But overall, on the macro scale, I spent many hours explaining that on the macro scale, the risk is really, really high because the entire rally from the 2022 low is already a 5-wave move. So it's basically completed. We get another high. It's a bonus, not a necessity for a full pattern. So after that, we get a large correction. The question is, has this large correction already started, which is the red scenario? So basically, it's between the white and the red scenarios. The white is bullish still, red is bearish. But even in the red scenario, there should be a bounce into the red resistance area. So please watch my long-term videos, especially on the MCO Global channel, where I explained this in detail. I still get questions about it, but it should all be clear from those videos. I can tell people don't watch the long-term videos, but it's so clearly explained. I've been explaining it since November, December, that we could have a bull market top. And now people talk about it, right? Now everybody's talk about that the bear market could have started. But that's now, we've already dropped like, I don't know, 20, 25, 30%. So you want to know that the risk is high when we are in these areas, like 108K and so on, right? Because then you need to look at your portfolio. Then you need to make decisions. Then you need to say, okay, what if we drop 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%? Because the risk is high. Could I carry my positions into a bear market? Am I happy with that? And if you're not, then it is typically a signal that you are overpositioned or that you need to make some adjustments to your portfolio. So again, that is all that Elliott Wave told us, prepared us for. But even in the bullish scenario, a drop into the support area was likely and to be considered, because these are the parameters that support the white wave count, in which we could get another rally to 130 K. Yeah. Now let's take a look at the smaller time frame for Bitcoin. Here we don't really have any change. The parameters are still the same that we discussed in yesterday's update. The price reacted to a micro support that essentially was needed to keep the balance between bulls and bears, because so far in this sideways range that has developed since the 11th of March, since the low here, no party has clearly taken the lead. Okay, nobody has clearly taken the lead. And therefore, bulls and bears are still debating. They are still debating. We've got this white scenario where I told you yesterday that we have 5 waves down, so we might go lower, which we did, then landed in micro support. Here I posted we should get a reaction, because we've seen in this entire range that none of these parties has really taken the lead. So if that continues, we should see a bounce here, because the market doesn't want to make a decision, and we have indeed seen a bounce. We're now in resistance. Micro resistance is between 82,530 and 84K. Should we get a move down from here, then it's likely the white count, especially if we see a break below yesterday's lows. Further upside could indicate that white wave 4 is resetting. That again would be in the white count here on the shorter time frame that allows for another low before we see that larger recovery, right? This here is just a 15-minute chart. But the yellow scenario here on this chart shows actually the bullish pathway. The question is just, what is the level that helps us distinguish between the white and the yellow scenario? So between short-term bullish and short-term bearish. And that is what I see people get confused, because you are confusing the daily chart. You're mixing that up with a 15-minute time frame. Now here on the 15-minute time frame, as long as we stay below, and that's the key level, below 85,474, another low remains likely. Doesn't mean the bears are currently leading, right? They will be leading if we break support. At the moment, this is again a balance of forces. But if we break above 85,474, we could break out directly towards that 90.9K area that I mentioned on the daily chart, okay? So this is still a balance of forces. The market hasn't made a decision, but action happens in real time here on the smaller time frame. If you want to stay up to date, make sure you follow us in our gold membership, where you get additional updates also in between videos. Really, when something happens, you get an update. But please note that this is at the moment just, a balance of forces. Nobody's really leading here right now. But it's important to understand about the level. So especially yesterday's low, a break below it could send us down to 75K. A break above 85,470 will open the door to 90K plus. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, if you want to continue to discuss with us, let us know your opinions, and want to get additional updates, also follow us here on X. There was a post pinned throughout the week. You can come over, let us know your favorite coins, and throughout the week, we are analyzing it, and there will be videos here exclusively on X. Today, after this video, I'm going to upload a video about CKB, because most of you asked for CKB. But keep asking, keep posting, and then we know what you want to see, and you get additional updates on X. So if you don't want to miss additional updates, then feel free to follow us here as well. We do upload videos on YouTube and X. And hope you have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.